How's it going, everyone? Thanks for stopping by the channel. We are out today on a brand new e-bike I just purchased. This is the ECOTRIC SPORTCOOL 26-inch fat tire mountain bike, road bike, commuter, adventure machine, whatever you want to call it, it does it. But what we're looking at, guys, is an aluminum frame, and we have these big, gigantic tires on here. These are 26-inch rims by 4-inch tires. These are Chaoyang tires, so they're pretty standard in the industry. I know that Mongoose uses the same tire. They call it a Mongoose tire, but it's actually a Chaoyang tire. Same tread pattern on it. These are pretty heavy knobbies, very high volume tires. So this bike is going to take you plenty of places. That's kind of one of the things that drew me to it, and we'll get into more of the features in just a second. But you can see a nice looking bike, nicely put together. Now you can see on the bike here, these brake pads here and here have been changed out. I changed those to mechanically actuated hydraulic piston brakes, just because this bike is heavy and I do take it off-road on a pretty regular occasion. I mix up my rides. I'm actually out right now on an adventure ride. I was a sport class racer in Wisconsin Off-Road Series, which is mountain bike racing on pretty heavy-duty trails, and I ended up blowing up both of my kneecaps back in my mid-40s, and my lower back, I herniated a disc. So it was kind of taking me out of the cycling game. Over the years, about 30 years, I ended up abusing my body to the point of actually not enjoying cycling anymore. Now, this represents a bike which is considered to be in the entry-level price range. Now, I think with this particular bike, it maybe blurs a little bit of a line. I'm about 215 pounds. I'm a strong rider. I've got strong legs, and I get a great workout on this thing. And I find it to be very, very reliable as far as when that pedal assist kicks in, the different levels of it, how they react to, button pushes on the fly, things like that. The only thing I could see with this bike is if you're in a high, like 4 or 5 pedal assist mode, which is the top 2, you may run out of pedal in the back depending on what kind of surface you're riding on. So in other words, once you get this shifted, the rear derailleur shifted onto 7, which is the highest gear, you're going to be pedaling looking like a circus chimp, just ridiculous, fast, kind of comical pedaling. So I could use maybe a different freewheel on here, and we'll get into the spec on this bike in just a second. A couple small gripes off the bat. That is one. The only other gripe I really have is the width of this handlebar is a little bit on the narrow side for me. Now, I do take this bike on forest single track, and I have had it out on some pretty twisty stuff, and it seemed to be fine fitting in some of the closer related trees. So that was kind of a plus. Now, I am going to be swapping out the bar on here and actually swapping out the seat post clamp. So my philosophy for use was getting fit, staying on a bike, possibly commuting, adventure rides like I'm on right now, and just having fun outdoors. This actually checks all 4 of the box. It's a bigger size bike, guys, 26-inch by 4. The frames stand over at the highest point, which would be right here at about 29 inches, and I would have to verify that. I'll put that in post edit right here on the screen and let you know how tall this frame is. Other than that, the build of the bike is quite good for what you're getting. And let's get into some of the components on this bike and kind of why I think it's a good value. First of all, you're looking at all Shimano drivetrain. You have Shimano tourney rear derailleur, which any of you in the know out there will say, well, Moodog, those are kind of crappy derailleurs. They're low end. Yeah, they're not crappy, though. That's the thing. They do work. They shift when you want them to shift, and they shift reliably. Are they as tight and fast as, say, a DRA LX or an older XT or even an SLX? No, they're not. But they do the job predictably and reliably every single time. So that's why I'm not changing the tourney out. I'm going to leave this here, and I'm going to use it until it breaks. Then I will swap it out to something else. So Shimano drivetrain, you've got the Shimano derailleur, you've got the Shimano 7-speed freewheel, which again could use a little bit taller high gear, because you would have to replace the freewheel itself. Not a big feat, not very hard to do. I could probably show you guys that at some point in this video series. So you're looking at a KMC chain on here too, guys. It's made in Taiwan, reliable. I use them instead of Shimano chains. I use them instead of SRAM chains on all my repairs, and customers love them. So what we're looking at is a Pro Wheel crank set on here, guys. You have plastic chain guards so you don't get your pants caught up in here. A nice forged crank arm, sealed cartridge bottom bracket underneath here. And that's good. Right out of the gate, you have a good bottom bracket on here. You're not going to have to worry about greasing it. It's already pre-greased, and once it blows out, you replace it with a new one. Very, very simple to do. And the shifter is going to be kind of standard fare for this type of bike in this price range anyway. Shimano TX50 shifter on here, 7-speed, thumb to go to higher gears, and same thumb to go to a lower gear. Right here. Very reliable. They just work. I mean, it's ugly. It looks like Mickey Mouse ears, but whatever. It works, and it works well with the rear derailleur. So nothing bad to say about that setup at all. What I like about this, guys, is they're using name brand components. A lot of these bikes, you would see really weird off-brand stuff. Not so much maybe in the shifters, but you might see a stamped metal, a really crappy one that just says Shimano rear derailleur. Those are not good at all. They're not very serviceable. They break, they bend, they're done. Okay, so the fact that they use Shimano, decent quality stuff, tried and true, tested stuff that works. I've seen it, I've serviced it, it works, period. That's the bottom line. This does have Tektro brakes. So the brake rotors are Tektro 160 millimeter on the front and on the rear. You'll notice some red anodized brake calipers here and here. These are actually Zoom branded X-Tech mechanically actuated hydraulic piston brakes. They're working out really good, guys. I'm going to do a separate review on those, but I did upgrade the brakes on here. No real screaming need to do that, but I wanted to have a little bit more sure stopping power because I do ride this on single track. I do take it off-road, and I put it through its paces, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. I put this bike in places where some people may not venture, but I take it out there, man. I have fun with this thing. So that being said, levers on the bike, we can go up to the front here, take a look at the levers. They are ECOTRIC branded. They're just 4-finger levers with a cord up on top here, actually wiring for a motor cutoff. So when you're riding with the motor and you have to hit your brakes fast, that motor will cut off and not keep going and possibly cause an accident. That's one feature to look for, very important feature. And that's just that second cable up on top here. So the brakes work really good on this. The levers feel okay. They're plastic levers, metal bodies, probably some alloy pot metal bodies here, and plastic levers, but they have this little rubber insert. You can see possibly 2 little screws up on top here holding on that insert, and that's on both levers. So they have a premium feel, just kind of a chintzy build. But again, you're looking at a budget conscious bike, something easy enough to swap out as levers. That's not a problem. It's an aluminum handlebar, so nice. It's got a little bit of a rise to it. Again, for my taste, a little narrow, but still a nice bar. Grips that come on here, guys, I actually modified mine. I peeled the kind of a fake plastic pleather cover over there with stitching on it. It was kind of cheesy for me and actually got a little bit slippery. Little doggy over there has got Napoleon complex. Now the stem that I have on here and riser were not stock on the bike. This actually sat a lot lower out of the box, and the stem that was on here was a Zoom branded black stem, and it sat out a little bit too far for me. I didn't like that reach, so I shortened the stem up and I actually added a riser to that, and I'll go over the accessories and the modifications that I made to this bicycle in another video. But as far as the electrics on this bike, we have a 36 volt 13 amp hour lithium ion rechargeable battery. You have a key over here, guys, and that's for actually pulling the battery off the bike. You would turn it to the left, it pulls the pin out, you slide the battery up and off, take it inside and charge it with you. You can charge it on the bike as well. I recommend taking it inside. Up on top here, guys, you have a little button. Here's your battery indicator. It gives you an idea what your battery health looks like. So that's kind of a nice feature. Charging port's going to be right kind of below that here on the side. I'm getting about 22 to 25 miles through all kinds of different terrains. If you were to stay on pavement, I would imagine you'd get 30 miles, maybe 35 miles on a pedal assist mode, and we'll get into that right now. So the bike works via this LCD screen, and this control panel that mounts to the handlebar. So in order to turn the power on the bike on, you would hit the M button, which stands for mode, press and hold, and your display will come up. Now this is a good display, guys. It's LCD, it's single color, so it's got a grayscale kind of about it. Really good in bright sunlight, really easy to read. You can customize it as well by going into the menu settings. Whole nother video on that. You have pedal assist modes 1 through 5, and you're going to see the PAS 1 right now. So when you first start the bike up, it will default to 1. You can actually switch up by hitting this up key right here, and I'll do that. See 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1 is going to take you about 7 or 8 miles an hour, and pedal assist 2 is going to take you roughly 11 miles or so an hour. Pedal assist 3 will take you up to about 14 to 15. Putting in a little work this is, guys. I'm going to mention that. That's assisting with these things down here. So you're going to have to do a little work with this. You don't have to, but that's how you're achieving those speeds. And pedal assist 4 is going to take you about 19 miles per hour. Pedal assist 5 is 20 miles per hour. This is a class 2 bike. This is a bike that is legal in my state of Wisconsin to ride on public trails, but there is a way that you can get into this computer here and actually unrestrict that 20 mile per hour limit and actually bump that up to 25. And I will tell you, this bike will do 25 miles per hour. It does do it. So you do have to put some work in with it, but guys, this is kind of a exercise machine for me as well as a fun machine. This lets me go out 20, 25, 30 miles on a Sunday afternoon and not come home deceased. Through all these pedal assists, that's going to give you your throttle response too. So your throttle will coincide with the pedal assist 2 speed. So with throttle, you're going to go a little bit slower than you would on any given pedal assist mode, but that throttle is there if you're gassed for whatever reason. Say you just put your all into it and you climbed a huge hill with a little bit of pedal assist and you're tired, you can actually get on the other side of that hill and hit that throttle in a higher pedal assist mode and really go. So that's kind of nice that that's there. You can use that. You can use it exclusively. Your mileage will vary. Your mileage will lower because you're putting more stress on the motor and the battery. So Bafang motor, ECOTRIC branded. Bafang is the largest manufacturer of motors of this type in the world right now. It's a Chinese company. The bike was made in China. All these bikes are made in China. But you have to look at the quality. The overall quality is what the key is there. There are some Chinese bikes out there that have a motor on them and a battery on them that are garbage. Okay, they're absolute garbage. They rattle to pieces and they're done. This has been on forest, single track trails, roots, rocks, small rooty descents, all kinds of stuff. Little climbs, all kinds of stuff. So it's been a really sturdy and really fun bike. But the Bafang motor, again, top-notch, good stuff, 500-watt motor, okay? So this will pull a 250-pound man. I'm 215 pounds. When I have my rack on here, that sticks out about that far, and all these bags packed, this bike weighs 70 pounds or close to it. And with me at 215 plus the 70 pounds, that's a lot of weight. And this thing does it and asks for more. It's just amazing. It does have a lot of power, a lot of torque. So this is a geared brushless motor. You are going to get a long life expectancy out of this. And being that it's geared, it's going to be torquey. So you get a lot of good torque on this. I'd say if you guys are 5'9" and above, so taller guys, up to about 6'2", 6'3", this is a perfect bike for you. With regards to size anyway. Now someone under, I'd say 5'9", may not find this to be the perfect bike for them. You're going to have some issues with standover. These tires are huge. This picture in these videos here don't do any justice to the size of this bike. I was taken aback when I got this thing out of the box and started building it. I'm like, oh my gosh, this thing is huge, and it really, really is a big bike. So that being said, parts pick on this bike, excellent, very smart parts pick. Very good quality welds on this bike, nice sturdy frame. I don't see any issues with anything breaking. The wheels are nice and tight. Everything's serviceable on it. I think it's a win-win situation. If you're looking for your first e-bike, your second e-bike, can't beat it for the money. You really can't. So check it out. I'll put a link in the description if you guys want to check this one out. And I guess we'll see you all in the next one. And God bless the Republic.